You're now listening to the best music. All my songs come with melody. Got the heart, got the soul like Harriet. A queen said she born, that was evident. That's evidence of black excellence. I can tell a good dog when I'm petting them. Know that if I have this tribe, he protecting them. Mother of a child of God, I invest in them. Nutrition and brown milk in them. Young Rosa, young Luther, keep marching. 1 hour of the hottest tracks and coolest mashups of the moment. You're now listening to the best music.
You're tuning into the Black Hot Fire Radio.
1 hour of the hottest tracks and coolest mashups of the moment.
Feel the freshness.
Thursday, family, how are we doing? Welcome to another conversation here with us on the Black Hot Fire Radio Network. Media for the 21st century. My name is Iriton Lungoria, and let's talk with Iriton. Always talking about redefining conversation, having a conversation about redefining Africans as we redefine ourselves, because we are the change you need to see in the world. Remember, you can download our app on the Google Play Store, stream on www.blackhotfireradionetwork.com for amazing healthy supplements, apparel, clothing with the Black Hot Fire Radio logo on it. If you're using the iPhone or the computer, you can stream on www.blackhotfireradionetwork.com. But if you're using the Android device, it's super free to download our app on the Google Play Store to get yourself amazing apparel, clothing, hoodies, t-shirts, sandal slides, mags. We do have the Black Hot Fire Radio flag with the logo on it, and also get yourself some amazing supplements. If you're not living a healthy lifestyle like Mr. New, actually the CEO of Traverze Culture. I believe I said that right.
Traverze Culture.
Traverze Culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome again. I believe you'll definitely introduce yourself. Miss Kio. Miss Kio Wakesho.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
I got it right.
Yes.
How are you doing? But welcome again to the Black Watch Power Radio family.
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Yes.
How are you? I would love you to actually introduce yourself and what you do, and then we can delve into the conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So my name is Kia Wakesho Simmons. I am the CEO and founder of Traverze Culture. We are a travel concierge company that specializes in humanitarian work, relocation assistance, business development, and now medical tourism inbound to Kenya.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That is like amazing work that you're doing, because I have lots of questions to actually ask you. But first of all, thank you for actually coming on time.
Yeah,
and it's amazing how you know your way around Nairobi.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, it's actually really amazing, because I thought maybe someone is going to drop you here.
Mhm.
But girl, salute you.
Yes. Thank you.
So why Kenya?
Yeah, I get that ask
Yes.
all the time, and I always say the same thing.
Right.
The people. The people is what made Kenya such a magical place, a beautiful place here.
Right.
And I just, it's the people, man. It's the
Right.
people, yeah.
And you said you actually been here like 14 years ago.
Yeah, I started coming 14 years ago. I always like to say this for my
Yeah.
Kenyans.
Kenyan.
I've been coming here since Kibaki was the president.
Oh.
I've been coming here since the shilling was 88 to the dollar. I was coming here since Nakumart was the
Oh my
supermarket
God,
to
she's
be.
so good.
And for those who used to go down to Niali, Mombasa, where
Yeah.
Bob's place used to be popping. So, yeah, I've been coming since when they first finished City Mall
Right.
in Mombasa. So, yeah, quite some time.
Right. We
Yeah.
should actually give you like a Kenyan name. You're literally a Kenyan.
Yeah, so yeah, they gave me so my adopted family, his
Yeah.
father's Taita, his
Okay,
mom is
got it.
Lua,
Yeah.
so they gave me Wakesho Akini.
Oh, okay.
And then
sure.
after
Yeah.
coming to the country for 9 years, my family did our DNA,
Uh-huh.
and we actually came back 27.7% Lua. And
Wow.
so it was a coincidence that I already had a Lua name,
Amazing.
Akini. Yes.
Oh my God, like, actually, because the first time I heard about that, and I'm like, that sounds Kenyan. And
Yeah.
then
But I have to say that I want to jump to the conversation. Like I told a lot of Black Americans, they always find it weird that they have some Kenyan genetics.
Yep.
I bet said you had some years ago.
Yep.
Because the Portuguese took slaves from Kenya and Tanzania and shipped them out through Zanzibar. So I said, you always got a small trace of Kenyan. Go ahead, guys.
Right.
Yes.
Right. I'd like us to talk more about Traverze culture
Yeah.
and what is actually all about.
Yeah.
Because I believe you're helping a lot of individuals who are not here in Africa, who actually have a desire to move to Africa. I believe making it easier for them to actually relocate and settle here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So when I started back in 2018, I started with my first brand, World Views.
Okay.
I was a co-founder of that company, which we offered similar services. And through that company, we were able to develop relationships, not only here in Kenya, but we also did business in Senegal.
Right.
We started business in Liberia, a little bit in South Africa. Back home, so we also offered Gullah Geechee tours
Right.
as well to learn about our culture there. And then we started to transition into relocation services in 2021. We had our first family that we relocated from
Amazing.
Tennessee
Oh.
to
Okay.
Kenya in 2021. And then I had a bad business breakup
sorry.
that started around the
Yeah.
2021 area.
Yeah.
And then in 2023, I had to make a very tough decision whether I wanted to continue to fight
Okay.
or take the L, not really an L, but a loss financially,
Mhm.
and start all over. And
Right.
I had so many people in my ear at that time telling me, listen, you're not losing anything. No one is doing business with you
Right.
because of the name of the company.
Right.
They're doing business with you because you built a rapport
Right,
with
yeah.
your clients. And
100%.
so while you may have to start all over, you're able to pull those clients
Right.
with you. You're able to build your rapport.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to say that we relocated, we rebranded or started over March 2023. So technically we've only been in business 2.5 years under the new brand.
Yeah.
And so going into the new brand from Worldviews to Traverse Culture, we wanted to kind of take an elevation to what
Okay.
we've already done.
Right.
Now, between Worldviews and Traverse Culture, we brought over 300 African Americans through travel and relocation. But we wanted to add on some other components that people may be interested in, like our
Okay.
investigative tours.
Okay.
We're finding a lot of African Americans are interested in moving, but they just don't know where and what that may
Right,
look like, right?
yeah.
And we advise those who are interested in relocating
Yeah.
to do a kind of a discovery
Okay,
trip to
right.
Kenya with us,
Yeah.
so that you can look at some of the areas of interest,
Mm-hmm.
i.e. if you have children that you're relocating with, you want to come and look at the schools and see which schools would be conducive for you and your children. You want to come and look at the healthcare industry to see, if I move here, am I going to be able to get quality healthcare here in Kenya? You want to look at the real estate, because of course
Right.
you have to find somewhere to live.
Yeah.
But what would that look like for you? Do you live in the city, or would you come out here to Rongai?
Yeah.
What would work for you and your family? And so we've been able to kind of take it up a notch and offer those discovery or investigative tours.
Right.
And then we've also been able to take it as next step and offer medical tourism
Right.
for
Yeah, let's talk
Americans.
about that, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for those who are living abroad. So the medical tourism industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, where you see countries like Colombia, the DRC, India, Turkey, even South Africa has done well with pushing medical tourism to the Western countries,
Okay.
developed countries. And what we're seeing now, things are starting to shift, where people are more interested in leaving from developed countries
Okay.
to developing countries to access the medical industry here. And Kenya is one of those places that are up and coming. Now, while
Okay.
Kenya has been able to be successful in medical tourism within the East African region, it hasn't been able to tap into the Western
Yeah.
market, i.e. America, UK, Canada. And that's where Traverse Culture plays a major role. So we historically just signed an agreement with the Nairobi Hospital as the first
amazing.
travel concierge company to sign a contract with the
Right.
hospital.
Yeah.
We're also going into contract, or finishing our contract out with MP Shah,
Okay.
Aga Khan, and AAR. And we're also in contract with Halcyon,
Right.
which also offers cosmetic and weight loss procedures, which
Mm.
I did a weight loss procedure
really?
with our client, with our partners about 3.5 months ago.
Okay.
For the adjustable balloon, and I lost 9 kgs in 2 months.
Okay.
So Kenya is certainly up and coming for healthcare. And fun fact, Kenya has the second best healthcare in all of Africa, behind South Africa.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yes.
Mostly about the medical treatment. I was actually really curious about that. I know you've actually talked about how a lot of people are trying to actually invest on that sector, mostly in the developing countries right
Yep.
now. What does it really entail?
For
Mostly the medical treatment.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So mainly when we first started the medical tourism, we brought it through the relocation program.
Okay.
But then we started to see that, wait, there's a niche for this, especially for Americans who don't have healthcare
Okay,
insurance
got it.
in the
Okay.
U.S.
Yeah.
And they're looking for alternative options where, one, especially African Americans, can come to a country and they don't have to deal with biases and racism
Okay.
in the healthcare industry.
Okay.
If you don't know about our history in America, we have a very, very traumatic relationship with the healthcare industry.
Very dark.
Yes,
Right.
in the U.S.,
Yeah.
where they've done experiments on us.
Right,
They
yeah.
also feel that black women can
not feel pain.
right, more than our white counterparts. And so having the opportunity to come to a country where your doctors look like you,
Yes.
there's preventative health here. You can also take the holistic route, coming to Kenya or any other country in the world. And let's talk about the affordability.
Right.
We had a client about 4.5 weeks ago did a open fibroid surgery with us. They got a quote in the U.S. for $30,000. We were able to get just the surgery done for $140K, which is around a little over $1,000
Right.
here in Kenya. The entire ticket with the stay and the anesthesiologist, the surgery itself came out to $3,700.
Wow.
So we were able to save that client. What is that? I said what, $30,000, $28,000, and be able to give her quality care, a fraction of the price and a fraction of the time.
Right.
So people look to other countries for those qualities.
Okay.
Yes.
Amazing. A really, really great definition of what Traverze culture is actually delving into and what it really entails. You definitely look them up on their website and social media platform. Very empowering every time I was like going through your social media platform. And I also want to talk about, it's not the right question right now, or the next question.
Yep.
I saw you with our Pan-Africanist, one
Yes.
of the leaders, PLO Lumumba.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's one of your ambassador
Correct.
for Traverze culture.
Correct.
How do you meet him?
Yeah. So shout out to PLO.
Right.
I love him. He's been really, really good to me, and I met him in 2023.
Okay.
I was speaking to someone about the initiative that we have going on the end of this year,
Yeah.
the Journey Back to Eden, and I was like, oh my God, I would love to meet PLO. I'm a Pan-African,
Yeah.
and a Black nationalist, and I would love to meet him. And he's like, oh really? He picks up the phone. He's like, hey,
Okay.
I got this young lady here. She's a Pan-African. You would love to meet her. And he's like, okay, bring her over. And will you be available in an hour? I was like, what? We're going to his house? I literally cried.
Oh,
And
right.
we went to his house. He already had a group of people
Yes.
there talking and talking about Pan-Africanism and so on and so forth. And we started the conversation. It was me and another lady from Liberia. We didn't
Right.
agree on some things, and her and I started going back and forth.
Okay.
And PLO kind of jumped in to be like the mediator, like, listen, you have 2 minutes, you have 2 minutes. And by the end of that conversation, he looks to me and he's like, you're Malcolm X. I was like, oh, why? He said, I couldn't quite read you in the beginning, but now I know. Now I know where you stand. And from that point on, we built a relationship, and I spoke to him about the Journey Back to Eden initiative. We're the first people to do it here in East Africa, more specifically in Kenya. He was super excited, and I wanted to take what he has done all these years as an orator, which is his position, and execute what he's been telling us to do.
Come on.
And so he was like, he loved it, and we signed our partnership with him last year with PLO Lumumba's foundation.
Right, he's been such a voice. Also, he inspires me in regards to what he actually talks about Africa, and re-educating Africans about our power all over. Mostly right now we're going to talk about why a lot of African Americans right now, why our brothers and sisters in other nations want to relocate to Africa.
Yeah, that's
Can we talk more about that?
Yeah, it's I have my YouTube family watching, and a lot of them are coming through us. We have somebody in the comment section say we just signed our agreement today, so they're coming. I believe it's a family of 9, and I'll use them for it without telling too much of their information, but they're tired. They're tired of dealing with racism and biases and the crime, and not feeling like the place that you are supposed to call home, not feeling like home. America is the only place where I am a nigger.
Right.
I can go anywhere else in the world and I'm American.
Right.
And that's problematic. And why do we have to keep dealing with that kind of trauma? And considering the history, considering what our ancestors have been through, while we were still able to build that nation on the back of our ancestors, they still give us their asses to kiss.
Right.
And now we're saying, no more. We don't have to take that.
Right.
We can connect to our roots. We can also add value where there's needed and be welcomed.
That is so
When you
true.
walk into the Kenya JKI International Airport, Karibu Kenya, Karibuni Kenya,
Yeah.
you welcome us home. Most Kenyans believe I'm Kenyan if I don't say
Yes,
anything.
100%.
And then even when I speak, you still believe I'm Kenyan
Yeah.
of the diaspora.
100%.
You can't buy that type of welcome. You cannot buy that type of feeling. And so most of us are just frustrated and tired, and we're looking for a home to feel like we can have peace.
Come on.
That is what we're looking for.
Right.
And that is why you see many of us are leaving and relocating to Kenya.
That is so true. Thank you so much for that. Definitely makes sense. Mr. Newsom, do you have any question or a contribution?
No. I have any questions. I know that you guys had the interview. You guys are most hitting most of the points that you said. Why are people leaving America? Like Americans be specific. I started that journey years ago when I was in the Marine Corps, and like I said, my journey started in Ghana, Ethiopia, Nigeria, South Africa, Tanzania, and Kenya,
Right.
and also some South American countries, Brazil and Colombia to be specific. And it's just a feeling that is it time to start somewhere else when you're giving everything to a country that still does not see you as a human being,
Right.
still rejects your humanity, and will always systematically shut you out of any progress. It's a conscious thing. So what she's saying is correct. A lot of people are just tired.
Right.
Just tired. So that's why you see them getting out of America and moving wherever they move, whether it be Panama, Costa Rica, Kenya, South Africa. They're just tired.
Right.
They're tired of fighting. A lot of black Americans here say,
Been fighting.
"Why don't you fight? You're cowards. You fight." But some people are tired of fighting. Why do I gotta fight my whole life?
Your whole life.
So, whole life. I gotta have my whole life fighting my whole life. Can I build and like you said, and not be called a nigger?
Right.
You know, I'm in a country that I helped establish. But she's right. I'm still a no good, dirty nigger at the end of the day, and treated as such. So I commend what she did. I commend that she left and she took courage to bring other people over to show them, because most black Americans have been scared to even leave the country. Most black Americans, like I told you guys, don't have a passport. They've been scared to death to even leave the country.
Right.
And it, like because my first stint out the country being in California was to Mexico, and I had a cousin who was scared to just go across the border to Mexico. So most black Americans, once they get over the fear of leaving,
Right.
and once they get a taste of other countries, most times they don't want to come back to this place because racism is so heavy here. It's like putting on a coat of racism. So
Right.
she's correct, and I commend what she's doing. Wishing nothing but much success.
Right. Amazing work, like 100%. Like she's doing tremendously amazing. But also a closer look. This is a conversation that we always talk about here on the radio regarding a lot of Africans here in Africa, in different countries, who literally want to leave Africa.
Right.
Not knowing the other side of the United States, UK, name it,
Yeah.
literally, because they don't showcase that
Yeah.
in the mainstream media
Mhm.
until maybe someone who's actually lived there and
Right.
experienced everything actually tells them what really happens.
Yeah.
I don't know what's your take on that, because it's something that really happens each and every day here in Kenya, Uganda, name it. People are super hungry to actually relocate and leave Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell them all the time, don't.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the worst thing and people are starting to see it. You're starting
Yeah.
to see Africans, our continental cousins, I like to call you our cousins,
Yeah.
because we have such a disconnect. We do.
Yes.
We're definitely similar, but we definitely have to be honest about the disconnect
Of course.
and the relationship building that we need to be very intentional about between us. But yeah, like, a lot of people just don't know the other side. They see us on TV. They see the basketball stars,
Right.
the Atlanta housewives, and all of this craziness. Like, oh my God, look at the opportunities that I can have. But you don't know that when you move over there, you're working 16 hours a day, right? Just to pay your bills, right? And you still have to struggle with the cost of living. You're still going to, and guess what?
Right.
Whereby here, you're just Kenyan or
Right.
whatever tribe that you are, right? When you become an American, you become black. You
Right.
become a nigger.
Right.
That's a whole nother experience you can't even fathom. It's a whole nother
Right.
culture
And
shock.
I don't want to hear shit about your tribe. You are a nigga.
Period. Nobody cares that you're Kenyan. No,
Yeah.
so you take on our plight without even knowing it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You take on our plight without even knowing it. And so a lot of people are experiencing that, but they're not gonna write you back home and tell you,
Yeah.
oh, this is what's going on. But they're starting to see now. You saw the orange man just passed damn near U.S. martial law in D.C. area where they're patrolling
In D.C.
black and brown neighborhoods. So the
But the
government
poverty-
of the United
but the-
States is telling you how they feel about us, and the time is now. Enough is enough, and I believe that Africa is for Africans. So let us connect and build. We don't have to depend on nobody else but ourselves. Let's relationship build. Let's be intentional, and let's move towards what I like to call conscious trade and
I
commerce.
definitely agree with that.
Yeah,
Conscious.
trade and commerce.
100%.
Yes.
As Miss Kier has said, before we move forward to the conversation, we'll come back and talk about the big decision that you made
Yeah.
for selling your house.
Yeah.
a big decision that you made, like, I'm
Yeah.
out of here and I'm going to start a new life in Africa. And also a conversation about your experience.
I see when she sold her house. She was so happy.
I was so stressed because it was, I had been selling off assets little by little over the years. I had property in Vegas, a duplex in Vegas, a property in Vegas that I sold. I had I had business in Jamaica that I had started years ago, that I had sold years ago. And then the last portion was just liquidating the house after investing in the first company and
Right.
losing all types of money and just going through that. It was so stressful. I was so unhappy, and then add to the anxiety of being in the United States as an entrepreneur, as a mom to a black son in America. It was just a lot. So I was extremely happy that I had that breakthrough. I needed it.
Yeah.
I'm an entrepreneur. That's the hardest, one of the hardest things you can
look
do,
like it.
is be an entrepreneur. So it was just really, really good for me to be able to get out there and liquidate everything. Yeah.
Right, that Miss Kier vacation, Kenyan name that she was given,
Yeah.
it's literally registered in your ID.
Yeah, no,
Or your
it's not.
passport.
Not yet.
Not
No.
yet.
I carry it everywhere I go. I call myself Kia
Yes.
Wakesho, but my middle name is actually Lishay.
Okay.
But no, it's not a part of my government name
But it's
as of yet.
sincere, like 100%.
Absolutely, it means the future or tomorrow, and I'm the future. Absolutely, yes.
Period.
Humbly.
We're gonna go on a commercial break and let's listen to the health and benefits of some of the supplements we do have on our website.
Discover the natural power of ashwagandha, an ancient herb known for its healing properties. For over 3,000 years, ashwagandha has been trusted to reduce stress, increase energy, and improve focus. Our ashwagandha is carefully grown, harvested, and processed to retain its maximum potency. Each root is hand-picked and dried, then ground into a pure organic powder, ensuring the highest quality. Simply mix 1 teaspoon into your favorite beverage or take it in capsule form as prescribed by a healthcare professional. Whether you're looking to balance your stress levels, boost your immune system, or enhance mental clarity, ashwagandha offers a natural solution. Experience the benefits of ancient wisdom backed by modern science. Trust nature. Trust ashwagandha. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
For $23
Beetroot, nature's powerhouse, packed with vitamins, antioxidants and nitrates, it's known to support heart health, boost stamina and improve blood circulation. Our beetroot is naturally grown and harvested at peak ripeness. The roots are cleaned, dried and finely ground to preserve their rich nutritional content, giving you all the benefits in one pure form. Add 1 teaspoon of beetroot powder to your juice, smoothie or water, or take it in capsule form as recommended by your healthcare provider. Beetroot helps enhance endurance, lower blood pressure and keep you feeling energized and balanced all day. Fuel your body with the natural power of beetroot. Stay strong, stay healthy. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
For $20.90, we gotta live healthy because we have our purpose to fulfill, baby. So take your supplements and drink some water. But welcome again to Let's Talk with Irit and another conversation here with me, with the one and only here, Rakesia Simmons, the CEO of Traverze Culture, doing amazing work here in Africa, reconnecting our cousins, as she calls them, back to the land of Eden. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
That's what I call it, cousins.
Thank you.
So, we're in agreement.
Right. I want to talk about the challenges that you're facing as an entrepreneur here in Africa. And also, let's talk about the team that you're creating here in Africa and how is that going on for you?
Yeah, so I started 7.5 years ago.
Yes.
And the first team, I think I said this on another interview.
Okay.
I had to fire them all.
Oh my gosh. They're from here?
Yeah.
You had to fire them all.
So
You had to fire them all. That's what you said?
Yeah,
That's what you said? You had to fire them all?
I did. They were.
You,
It was.
you guys are all on warning.
Yeah, no, I
Let me stop.
did. It was it was an all male team.
Okay.
The business.
No, I tell you, Kenya,
What happened?
Say it again.
never all male. Never all male in Kenya, never for me.
Why is that?
That's what I'm gonna keep it honest. Females move things for me in Kenya and in Tanzania. Kenyan women do the best work for me.
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep it 100. But anyway, go ahead.
No, I agree 100%.
Right.
So I started off with males,
Okay.
thinking, I'm ex-military as well. I served in the U.S. Army for 5.5
Yeah.
years, and then I did 7.5
God.
years as a contractor, which afforded me the opportunity to travel around the world, which I've been to 46 countries, and I've lived in 8 of them. And through that process, I thought it would be easier to work with males. I'm like, oh yeah, they'll be able to move, all this other stuff. And I had about 7 employees,
Okay.
and I had to fire them all. There were numerous things that were challenging working with the all male team in terms of them not wanting to listen to me or try to take over the business. It was just a lot of stuff, just to keep it a buck.
Okay.
And then in 2019, I ended up hiring an all woman team, and they've been with me since then.
Yeah.
So shout out to my team. I am registered in the U.S. as Traverze Culture, but we are also registered here in Kenya as Traverze Culture Africa, where my team works for the local company here. Shout out to my team, where I have a majority women team. I do have a few male associates and team member, but mainly the core of the company is women owned, women ran. So shout out to
Great lesson learned. Shout out to you, Joby. You know I told you that. Women.
Yeah, Kenyan women get it done. I have the best team in Kenya.
Right.
I don't argue with people on that.
Right.
I have the best lawyer. I have the best associates.
Yeah.
And Kenyan women get the job done. In the 7.5 or 6.5 years that they've been with me, we've never bumped heads in a way where we've had huge disagreements.
Right.
The level of loyalty is insane, and integrity and hard work. I have the best women team, hands down. Shout out to my team.
Come on.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I have the best women team. I disagree.
Now I don't argue with nobody on that.
Yes.
No.
Come on, that's amazing. And any kind of challenges, literally, with not actually the people you're working with or your staff, in regards to like moving around or
No.
talk
No.
about as you talked about conversing.
Yeah.
Because we're literally so different in
Yeah, that's true.
job. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, what's good is I've been, you know, I'm pretty
Yeah, you're
immersed into the culture.
Absolutely,
While I
yeah.
may not speak Swahili
Oh, you do?
fluently,
Stop.
you know, I'm
You
able
do?
to. No, I say I don't.
Oh,
No. I know Swahili Kidogo,
Kidogo.
but I know the culture enough to say certain words and know what's going on. And again, my team is my safety net, my guardrails. I lean on them. Sometimes I don't, and that bites me in the ass. And so leaning on my team as my guardrails, I've been able to navigate Kenya quite well. I've been pretty blessed to have some really, really good people in my circle in Kenya and beyond. So I haven't had much challenges. Haven't had people to try to screw me over? Yes.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've had a great team to, again, navigate that to where we didn't lose a lot of money. We didn't, you know, it didn't blow up in our face. But for the most part, I've had really, really good opportunities here.
Right.
Now, I will say what's the most challenging is the passive culture here.
Okay.
The passive aggressive culture.
Okay.
You know, the pole, the kuna matata kind of energy. It's good, but then coming from America, we like, no, get the job done. Let's get it done now.
Yeah.
Nobody has time for, you know, I don't have time to be waiting for you to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and we're super aggressive where you all are kind of passive. You like, you know, and aggression
Really?
does not work here in Kenya.
I
If
can
you
say that at the coolest, but in Nairobi, I feel like
no, you guys are passive. No.
Really?
The entire Kenyan culture is passive aggressive. The entire
No,
culture.
That's what I tried. That's what I tried to tell them, but they disagree with me too.
Yeah, no. Compare. See, you guys only see Kenya, and that's another thing I have with Kenyans.
Okay.
You guys be in your box, and you act like the entire world is just Kenya, and you're like, listen. There's other people who's dealing with politics. There's other people in the world that has horrible healthcare. There's other people in the world that has a hustle bustle city that just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so compared to the U.S., Kenyan culture is passive across the board.
Right.
Compared to
Okay.
us.
Alrighty.
For sure.
Yeah, still very slow.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Okay.
But you gotta love it. You gotta so where we have to learn, we have to unlearn some of the bad behaviors that we come to the table with, right? Because we can come to the table with a level of arrogance, feeling like we know more than you in your own country, which is crazy.
Arrogance and aggressiveness.
So your passive actually helps us kind of create a balance.
Okay.
So it's not all bad, but we have to get used to it. And there should be an exchange of cultural, mutual movement. And so my team has entirely took on some of the aggressiveness and let's get it done. I don't want to hear no excuses, but then they also still have that Hakuna Matata spirit. And let's take care of our clients and so yeah.
Oh my god, for real. Okay, maybe I'll get definitely during this stand-up, but also your energy is very powerful in a good way.
Yeah, thank you.
It's very powerful in a good way. Another question I was actually thinking about right now regarding Traverze culture. You talked about the fact that you had to rebuild your business again.
Yeah.
And you had people telling you that don't think about how people will feel about, or people are actually working with you because of the name of your organization, but it's about the report.
Correct.
Right? It's like 100%. What would you like people to actually feel after having an experience with Traverze culture?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah, thank you.
We pride ourselves on the customer experience.
Right.
I often say the customer is always right to a certain extent. And what we want to do is teach black folks that we can give them a level of service that we're often not used to.
Okay.
As African Americans when we go into business. A lot of our service providers who look like us give piss poor service, piss poor customer service, and they seem to think that we should still spend money with them because it's a black-owned business.
Got it.
And I don't want to just be a black-owned business, but I happen to be a black-owned business that's doing business internationally. And my goal is to show my fellow African Americans and continental cousins that we can give the same service as good or better than our white and Asian counterparts who are in the same industry. Yeah. So it's all about the customer experience. We want the clients to feel safe. We want them to be able to use a reputable company where they know that they will get what they pay for, and in fact get above and beyond what they pay for. And I can proudly say 90% of our clients, and you can go check us out on TripAdvisor. You can also check out all of our testimonies. But 90% of our clients say that we undercharge them. In fact, we did a testimony the other day with a client, which will be posted on YouTube. And when we initially gave him his quote for the relocation services, he thought it was a bit expensive. Not really knowing what he was going to get until he went through the process. Even after going through the process, because black folks are not used to getting grade A services. And a lot of black folks don't understand what concierge service really mean. And when I say we hold your hand, we really hold your hand. And so after doing the 30-day process with us, and you guys will see this on our YouTube page. He said on that actual testimony, he said, I felt like I got over on y'all. And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, the price that I paid for your services, I felt like I got over on y'all. And so then I asked him, how much would you have paid for the 30-day process? He said, I would at least pay $8,000 to $10,000.
Wow.
Just for the services. Yes. So we go above and beyond, and I got to give my shout out to my team for doing the work after we did all our training and implementing the programs that I wanted to see. Again, I'm ex-military, so I'm very finite about certain things. They were able to
very meticulous.
Very, very meticulous about things. And some people call me a perfectionist, but they were able to take my vision and own it as their own and do it better than probably me at this point. So yeah, it's all about the customer service and the customer's experience.
Amazing. We always talk about Africa unity, and one thing that actually don't have as African is unity. We talk also about the fact that Africans, which is actually a super light vision that you can actually see, that we don't really invest in our community, and I see that you're actually doing that. I don't know what's your take in regards to actually telling people listening to us, mostly here in Kenya, the power of unity and investing in our own community, because we actually accolade a lot of how can I say foreigners who don't look like that than my brother and sister who literally looks like me. We give a lot of support to other races because of the mind colonization. I definitely believe so, and that has to stop, because as we come together as Africans, magical things happen. It's a fact, 100%. That's the only thing I believe is actually not working right now. Maybe poly it is. Yes, it is working. I have so much faith and hope. Like we'll definitely have the spirit of Ubuntu again, because that's where the secret is hidden.
Correct. Yeah, it's important. You know, like I said, the time is now, and Africa is for Africans. And so what we've been able to see historically through the Pan-African movement is once we unify, we know that there's an issue, because we start seeing people coming for us, right? Like, what are y'all doing over there? When they see us coming and conjugating together and planning together to unite, we know that there's power in that. We need to just execute it and stop all of the talking. We do a lot of talking, 100%. A lot of internet, all of this all day. Who's black, who's not, who's African, who's FBA, who's that? Who cares? Let's just get the job done and stop all of the talking. And so it has to start with relationship building, especially here in Kenya. I always say, and I keep it above, Kenya probably is the least Pan-African country in East Africa. While it shares the red, black, and green in the flag. Now, it once was, Jomo Kenyatta was a Pan-Africanist. You even see Kibaki played around with some of his beliefs in Pan-Africanism, and then even you had Pinto, the guy who was assassinated 3 days before Malcolm X. He was a Pan-African. He actually convinced Malcolm X to become a Pan-African and not just a black nationalist.
Right.
And so we have the connections here. You see PLO, who's been championed for years
I know.
here in Kenya to push this Pan-African or this Ubuntu spirit. And it's returning. We see it in the Gen Zs. The Gen Zs are returning back to their mother tongue. The Gen Zs want to return back to traditional African spiritual systems and cultures. So we're seeing the ancestors come and we're seeing history repeat itself. Now we got to grab hold onto it and execute. Stop all of the talking, stop all of the internet trolling, and let's get the work done.
And I believe it starts with your neighbor. Like,
absolutely.
Anybody who's next to you. Literally. That's how it starts.
It starts with your neighbor, it starts with education, and it starts with relationship building. So we have to do our due diligence and concentrate on culture exchange in terms of getting to know me. Just simple. My name is Kia Lachey Simmons, and I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, of the Gullah Geechee culture. What does that mean to you? Absolutely nothing, unless I'm able to share it and we learn and we converse and we build. Right? Yes.
That is so true. Before we wind up, just two more questions. You mentioned about the Gullah Geechee culture.
Yes.
I've actually seen it or actually done a little bit of research on it, but really not going deeper into it. But you're here right now.
Yes.
Well, Joby knows I've talked about the Gullah Geechee culture, how important it is to Black American culture.
Yeah, it's a very old culture, rooted in the South. So the Gullah Geechee corridor begins in St. Augustine, Florida, all the way to Wilmington, North Carolina. So this is the eastern border of North America. But I argue with the Gullah Geechee people that we are the real Gullah Geechee people in the Low Country era in Charleston, Beaufort, South Carolina, St. Helena area, where we speak a certain dialect. We have our own dialect. We have our own history, our own dance, our own food. It's an entire culture that we've been able to preserve and cultivate in North America, rooted in our African ancestry, mainly from West Africa, but we do have portions of East and Central Africa influence. We landed in North America and one of the largest slave ports in North America, in Charleston, South Carolina, and we were able to again preserve that culture to where we have our own language. So I'll go into the dialect really quick. So we have a form of Creole, so I could maybe Creole or Pidgin.
The form of Creole.
And so we sound the closest to Bahamians or Liberians. Those two, but mostly if you sat a Charlestonian to close to a Bahamian, you couldn't tell the difference. So I always use this term to give you guys an example of how we sound. So my great grandma used to say this to me all the time, because I was a rebel, and so she would say, Kia, you no manners and lick mouth.
Oh, okay.
Did you understand what I said?
Please repeat that again for me.
She didn't understand none of that.
Kia, you know,
none of it.
Yes, Kia, you so no manners and lick mouth.
Wow. I love it though. Sounds nice.
So she said you have no manners and you talk too much.
Yes.
And so we.
All I got was a no manners. I didn't get to talk to her. I'm about to say she said you have no manners and shut your mouth.
No. She said you lick mouth.
Ooh.
So you lick mouth. So we literally have our own dialect, so where if you were sitting beside someone speaking Gullah, you probably couldn't understand them in North America. And so it's a very rich culture. We offer Gullah Geechee tours every July. So we're hoping that we can start having the Kenyan community come to the U.S. and learn about our culture, so you truly understand why we're looking to come to your culture and relationship build and just connect the dots.
That's really beautiful, honestly. That's really beautiful. And are you really parsing this culture along to your you have a son, right?
I have a son, yeah.
Yes.
He, you know, I was talking to my son the other day. He's 19. He goes to Jacksonville University.
Right.
He's half Haitian.
Okay.
But he, instead of him saying that he's African American, he says that he is half Haitian and Gullah Geechee.
Oh, come on.
And so I love that for him.
Right.
I was like, oh, you really tell people that? He's like, yeah, I'm Gullah Geechee and Haitian.
Right.
I was like, I love that. So yeah, we pass it along. We're very proud to be Gullah Geechee.
Yeah.
Again, we have such a rich history. It hasn't always been that way for me to be proud of my culture.
Okay.
I've lost my accent. Otherwise, I would sound more Gullah Geechee.
Right.
And that was because we weren't taught to be proud to speak that dialect. Yeah, so but now that I'm a grown woman,
Come on.
and I'm proud of my African roots and my Gullah Geechee roots, I'm super proud to be Gullah Geechee.
100%. I
Yeah.
love that. We do have
I mean, you got. You got it back. You know, my cousins were growing up. My cousins were Geechee. I didn't know what that even was. A Geechee man. What the hell was that? So what she's saying is, it also was a lot of within the African community looking down on Geechee people.
Correct.
So that also probably had a place, and you're not one to know your own dialect, because the Geechee Gullah was set apart here at town from regular Black America because they kept the culture.
Correct.
They kept their African culture. They were able to keep a lot of their traditions coming from Africa. So you couldn't call them a pretendian. The FBA won't work with them. You know, I'm an FBA. Because they know they come directly from Africa.
Right.
So that you can't tell the Geechee Gutcha, the Geechee Gullah, that there was no such thing as slave boats arriving in Africa.
Correct.
You can't tell them that.
Right.
Yep. That's right. You're right.
Yeah, but definitely that we should always preserve our culture. And that's one thing that has always been a target here in Africa about who we are and our identity. As you've actually mentioned right now, I applaud the Gen Zs for actually rising.
Yep.
Because nature always comes back to
That's
natural
right.
cause.
That's right.
My last question is to actually give your last remarks to our audience. We do have Mosquito asking, who's the lovely lady? Her name is Kiera Simmons, the CEO of Traverze Culture, doing amazing work. I'll list you on Instagram, General Mosquito. Check her out. Maybe he's in the UK. Maybe you want to relocate to, is it Ghana? Or you're going to come to Kenya?
Yeah.
General Mosquito.
Her name is Mind Your Own Business, She's not in England.
What's the vision, most importantly, here for Traverze Culture?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we had the great opportunity. To initiate the Journey Back to Eden initiative, and it's our form of the year return for Kenya.
Okay.
And we're calling all Africans, at least 200 Africans of the diaspora, to look to Kenya as the second point of entry for investment opportunities, relocation, and now medical tourism, but mainly relationship building with our Kenyan cousins. Ghana has done an incredible job with the year return, and I believe they just the first year they had over 100,000 participants.
So?
Yeah. Considering,
I don't.
Well, without getting into the detail, I'm just talking about the initiative itself. Just getting it done after 200 years. We could say what we want to say about Ghana, and I have my own. Thoughts about it, but what I can say is after 200 years of the last slave leaving the door of no return, Ghana invited its children, its lost children, cousins of Ghana back home. So I think just with that, we have to give our hats off to Ghana, and I want to see Kenya be able to do it, and so that's why we're initiating the Journey Back to Eden this December, and we're super excited, and we want to build with our Kenyan cousins. We don't want to come over here and act like we're trying to take over or take your land and all of this other stuff, but we want a relationship build, like I said, so we can move towards what I like to call conscious trade and commerce.
Make sure Canvas hears what she says. Canvas in the back room, Canvas in the back office. Traverze, make sure you heard what the young lady said. We're not trying to come take and steal your land.
We're not.
least that.
Yeah.
At least that.
No, that's a huge, and I think that's a reasonable fear.
Right.
I think Kenyans have every right to question our intentions. So I'm not one of those people that say, well, we just gonna come and do whatever we want to do. That's wild,
Right.
crazy. So I think you all should question the intentions, right?
I like that.
And all I ask, as you already do, is work with us. My goal is to be an asset,
Amazing.
an added value,
Right.
not to extract anything from the Kenyan community, but to be an added value.
Thank you so much. I love that. Like, definitely makes sense. But we'll be definitely winding up with that with Miss Kier. Lakeisha Simon's amazing conversation. You've been amazing. Like,
Thank
I
you.
want you back again.
Thank you.
Over
Yes.
again.
Yes.
Thank you, family, for watching us live on YouTube, featured Rumble, and on the Now, wherever you can download our app on the Google Play Store. Definitely hear such amazing conversation about redefining Africa, and Miss Kier is doing really amazing. Congratulations again.
Yes, thank
And I
you.
wish you all the best.
Thank
but
you.
good.
That's good.
Uh-huh.
Great interview, wonderful woman, beautiful soul. We wish her nothing but success. She's not trying to come and beat Khalees Camlish. She's not Khalees. So don't go crazy when she leaves. She's not Khalees.
Don't do Khalees like that. Don't do her like that. Don't do that. Shout out to Khalees. We're not gonna do Khalees like that. But yes.
I have a different.
You tell my staff back in the office over there. He's got the issue with Khalees.
I know her personally, so shout out to Khalees. We're not gonna do her like that. There's a lot of internet stuff going on.
Okay, maybe if you literally personally met her, maybe we'll definitely have a different opinion about what's really happening.
Yeah.
But family, thank you. We're talking about a closer look at Afrocentric, regenerative travel culture. Check them out on all the social media platforms. You can kindly tell them where they can definitely find you and how they can reach you here in Kenya and all over.
Yeah. So we are Traverse Culture on all social media handles. You can find us on IG, TikTok, and YouTube.
Right.
We're also on X as well.
Okay.
If you're interested in traveling, relocating, or accessing the medical tourism, or joining us for the journey back to Eden this December, you can go to our website at tverse.com, or you can email us at info@tverse.com, admin@tverse.com, or you can call us on our 1-800 number to speak to a live person.
Live and direct. Thank you so much, family, for actually joining
We'll
us.
make sure we keep all our contacts for all the Americans that you black Negroes that need some medical help. I told you it's always better go outside the country if you can afford it. So we'll make sure we keep this number at our tip of our hands for you guys. Instead of going to Costa Rica or Panama or Turkey, hey, give Kenya a shot.
Actually pinned it on our socials. Mr. Newsom, your last take as we wind up.
My last take is about, it's been a wonderful interview, and I hope for nothing but much success in the future.
Thank you so much. This
Thank
has
you for
been
having me.
amazing. Thank you for coming, and you're always welcome at the Black Watch 5 Radio.
And I told her, I told her on a TikTok, I said, you're going to end up in my studios one way or another. She said, okay, whatever. Okay, yeah, I told her that.
Thank you for having me.
You're
Shout out
always
to you.
welcome.
You're doing a great job, brother.
Mr. Newsom, thank you guys. Remember, we are always here from 8 to 5. You can follow us on other social media platform. And thank you for joining in Let's Talk with Eric, where we have redefining conversation about redefining Africans as we redefine ourselves, because Trump rules, we are the change you need to see in the world. I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care, and let's see you on the next show. Much love.
Nice things we do.